Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of chapter 13 where we're going to finish talking about advertising versus public relations. If you've been on Brightspace this morning, you'll notice that I did post separate slides specifically talking about public relations and what it is. And for now, I'm just going to talk a bit more about advertising and some of the different pieces. So, as I mentioned, advertising usually is paid for, and it's all of the things that are the traditional marketing you think of. You know, discounts, promos, sales, flyers, coupons, the mail outs that you give, and I'm gonna share some of these in a minute. That people do to try to, increase sales. The objective is really always about profit and driving brand recognition. So some of the ones that you might see, these are ones I've gotten in the mail in the last 2 weeks. This one actually came from Amazon, and it was actually a Kind bar. It was attached, the actual bar was attached here, and it was sent out as a free sample to encourage me to try snacks, try a new product. And obviously this is co-branding and a partnership because Amazon and Kind Bars collaborated to put that out. This is another one that I got recently, an advertisement that came direct mail. Try Canada's #1 meal kit, and it's by Good Food. So this would be one of those subscription food boxes with a huge incentive, a coupon. If you sign up now using this gift code, you can save on the box. I also got, this is a very expensive little ad that came in the mail because it's a mini book really from Journeys with some coupons on the back to save if you spend a certain amount of money. I'm noticing a lot of this stuff coming out recently because so many people aren't shopping in stores, obviously with closures and COVID. So companies are having to come out with a lot more strategies, whether it's email marketing, text marketing, or direct mail, traditional marketing and advertising. This one came recently as well, A&W, an ad for coffee, trying to compete with the very popular, very profitable coffee market. And they have a little coupon code that if you get 10 coffees, your 11th one is free. So encouraging you to come into the store, trying to pull you into the store so that you have a rewards program, and they are obviously competing with McDonald's. Now, that's advertising, right? So coupons, flyers, discounts, mail, whatever, they're all promotions on what they're selling and what they're pushing. And this, though, I'm sure a lot of you have gotten in the mail, is more like public relations. So this is actually from the government, the public health side of the government, and it's ways to help reduce the spread of COVID. So this is more like public relations, public service announcements, not trying to sell or push anything other than promote health. So it is a form of marketing, but it's more on the PR side of things. So just wanted to do some compare and contrast with that. So with, advertising, it's expensive. Those mail outs, especially the one from Journeys, would cost a lot to have full color print ads like that. But they're hoping that the return on investment is high. Sometimes they will analyze, the percentage of sales method, which is what you guys just did in your visual dictionaries, where if we spend, 1 or 2% of our sales, of what we make in sales, then it's worth it. And then we track, after we have done a publication like that, how much did sales go up so we can track our return. You want to have broad reach, getting out to the masses. You want to have, a regular frequency with which you send out content in order to have a really good impact. And you can do that through multiple channels as long as all of the channels are well integrated and consistent with their messaging. So if Journeys has, a $10 discount card that they've mailed to me, this promotion should also be consistent online as well. Okay. So as I said, build relationships is always the goal of marketing and communicating value, but really it's about a sales goal, especially in a peak period of time. If sales are slumping, these are the times to come out with a new ad or a new offer that will incentivize people to get shopping and get buying. Some other objectives might be to make sure you're communicating value with the A and W one. You know, they're giving you an extra coffee free when you buy so many. Sometimes it's to keep the company brand top of mind, and you know the Golden Arches are always promoted, even though we all know about McDonald's and eat at McDonald's. They never rest on their laurels and stop advertising. They keep that brand positioning strong, and they want a strong corporate image, which is why they do public relations. You think about Tim Hortons doing Tim's Camp and Smile Day cookies, and supporting youth soccer like Timbits Soccer or Timbits Hockey. McDonald's does the same thing with Ronald McDonald's Children's Charities. Those are corporate social responsibilities that build a strong public image, a strong brand image. And they remind us every now and then about the good that they do, along with what they offer and sell in terms of advertising. Sometimes when they launch a new product, they're going to have to really push hard to increase education and awareness to consumers around the product. And other times when it's something new and maybe isn't well understood, they might have to do an educational piece. This is how you use the product. This is the benefits of the product. So there might be need for advertising that's more demonstrative, you know, doing demonstrations and features and benefits and all of that. I recently got a product from a company called Riversol. They're a new skincare line. And what they're doing right now is if you sign up on their website, they'll send you a 15-day trial along with instructions on how to use the product, because they're trying to launch in the skincare industry. And so in order to attract customers and pull customers in, they have to do a lot of pushing the content, sharing the product, getting samples out, teaching you how to use it, teaching you the benefits of it, and then hopefully getting you to convert and buy. So those are, you know, some of the possible objectives. You think about some of the things that Amazon has done, whether it's direct mail, trying to get you to try new products, or you're online shopping and they want you to look at other recommendations or suggestions that they have for you based on your buying habits as well as what other people buy that you may like too. So all of those are reasons to advertise. There are some other types of advertising that goes beyond just informing consumers and keeping consumers aware. We want to persuade, of course we do, and we want to remind that we're still here. A lot of companies right now are letting you know that they're here for you. The Superstore and the Sobe CEOs are constantly sending messages to let consumers know that they are taking every action possible to reduce COVID and increase health and safety, all part of relationship building, all part of building a positive brand and a positive brand image in your mind. Banks are going at length to help consumers, help with deferrals, helping you save money, all kinds of different strategies to either persuade you to buy, remind you that they're there, or build a strong public image, brand image. Sometimes you will see comparative advertising, like us versus them, our product over their product, the benefits of us. The most classic one I can think of over the years is the Clorox or Javex commercial where they show like the two white socks and which one's brighter. That's kind of the ultimate sort of who is better. But other companies, more contemporary companies, there's an ad that's been running around lately saying that Google is outdated and Google Analytics is old and that Bing is now a newer one and gets better results. I think that's highly debatable, but that comparative sort of who does it better, which is the better product, who's got the better sale, that's a strategy that you can use. I won't talk too much about the advertising budget methods. Obviously, it costs a lot to advertise. Keep in mind that there are approaches to doing that as long as you're tracking ROI. If you're going to do it based on percentage of sales, that's one method. But you might also have to do a competitive method in terms of if your competition ups the ante and starts doing intense marketing and promotions, you may have to do that just for the sake of competing and staying well ranked and well positioned. And lastly, the objective and task method. Like, I said earlier, if you're trying to persuade or inform or educate on a new product. If you're in that life cycle of just launching a product, promotion's heavy because you want to get the word out. So that might be a time when you're willing to spend more in order to create awareness and get information out. And standing out amongst the clutter, having really compelling content, really creative advertisement, consistent advertisement is really important. Some people will do something really unique, or they'll use humor. Maybe they'll use branded entertainment or endorsers and influencers who have a following, or really popular people that will push content the way that Jordan does for his brand, or Kobe Bryant does for the Jordan brand. Jennifer Aniston has been hired to do all kinds of different marketing, whether it's Smart Water or Vino, because she sells the product just by her image. So lots of different creativity when you're coming up with your ads. You want to stand out and really be compelling, tell a story, and be convincing as to why people should buy from you. Then you have to decide where you're going to put that. Obviously, social media is a huge forum for building a strong online platform and presence. But maybe you also still want to do traditional marketing like Beyond the Radio, or perhaps do traditional marketing like posters or flyers or mailouts, depending on what you can afford. If you have an older demographic, you might really want to still consider newspaper, radio, and even Facebook. But if you have a really young demographic, you might really want to be strongly presented on Instagram and Snapchat. So selecting your media and your channel is part of your strategy. From what you can afford, to what time of day you're on, to what frequency, to what device people use. Are they on laptops? Are they on cell phones? Do they read newspapers traditionally, or do they read newspapers online? When are they online? When are they most likely to see this content? All of that I'll talk more about in a future post, but all part of strategy. You need to have meaningful content, believable content, and distinctive content. Again, compelling content stands out. Sometimes the best way to know how to appeal to an audience is to ask them, survey them, engage with them, or monitor the competition and gain ideas and inspiration from what are they doing that I can do without being a direct copycat, and what are they doing that's not working, and I can learn from their mistakes too. I probably won't have enough time to go over each of these messages, but there are different styles that you can approach when you're doing advertising, especially advertising that's meant for YouTube or television. So one example, and you can read about these in the textbook, is scientific evidence. So you think about like Crest toothpaste, or Pediasure, Pedialyte, which is a product for kids when they're sick. They often use a scientific evidence approach to marketing and advertising. So they'll say Crest is #1 recommended by dentists, removes more stains than other toothpaste, or Pedialyte is #1 recommended by pediatricians when your kids are sick. And they'll usually have someone in a white coat, promoting it and sort of telling you the science behind it, or the technical expertise behind it. So that's just one approach, one style, but not all have to be like that. Slice of Life is another one where it's sort of like a basic, relatable ad that anyone who is a mom can relate to, a Cheerios commercial or a Messy House commercial that, needs a good vacuum or needs a good cleaning product, where they literally take a piece of our lives and put it in an advertisement so that anyone watching can say, that's just like me. I relate. I understand. I need that product too. So I'll let you read the rest of those, and please take a look at the PR slides that I put up. My third video lecture that I'll post in a couple of days will be more about PR and wrapping up this chapter. Hope everybody's well. Thanks very much, and stay tuned for more content. Please check regularly and touch base with me as needed. I'm here to answer questions. Bye for now.